What's up guys, Big Wolf here again, bringing you another tips and tricks video for flying your helicopters. This time I'm doing the attack helicopter on Carg Island Rush. This is the something or another Super Cobra, also known as the Viper, I believe. And so, let's see here, this is something that I recommend you do if you play Rush. I'm not really familiarized with the Conquest map, so I can't tell you, when to use this strategy, but you pretty much always just want to clear the airspace as soon as you can, because a plane strafing the side of your helicopter will either kill you or send you into an uncontrollable spin into the ground, and you're gonna die. So if you have the opportunity, always try and take out enemy planes as soon as you can. In this situation, obviously, I knew I was in a Skype call with Icebergs, who was flying the jet at the time, and Soap, who's my gunner right now. So we were communicating at all times, so we all knew what each other was doing. So he knew that I was going to go up and help him out with the plane, because it just makes it easier for everyone to not have to worry about. This map is a little bit more difficult than something like Donovan for flying in terms of having somewhere to kind of escape to. You do have to be a lot more familiar and fluent with the controls, because the few areas that you can cover in are really low to the ground, like over on this side of the beach. So you do want to be aware that you might crash land a few times, or well, you might die by crashing into the beach if you're trying to evade locks and such over there. Now, if you don't already know this, the missiles that the pilot controls, in this case I'm the pilot, so the missiles that I control are for anti-tank. That's just sped up because I was repairing, so yeah, if you were curious. The missiles that I have are primarily anti-vehicle missiles. They don't really do much splash damage. I mean, I still strafe targets all the time with them. You'll see plenty of it going on when I don't see tanks. Because, I mean, obviously they do some damage. Just, they don't do ridiculous amounts. So you do have to either hit the target or come very close to the target to destroy them. Obviously, the gunner's 30mm cannon is what does 90% of the damage, which is why Soap gets like something like 3 or 4 times as many kills. I don't actually remember at this time, even though I just kind of trimmed this up a little bit for time. But yeah, the 30mm cannon on this thing is a monster. Obviously, if more on the tip side of things, I'm sure that people by now can kind of keep choppers up, and that's really all you have to do to make this thing a monster. At least on this map, in this situation, is you don't even have to do as much work as I'm doing right now. I'm just doing this because I wanted to get some kills too, but also it's a lot safer if you keep moving and you keep breaking locks as often as you can. And check this clown out right here under the edge of the highway trying to lock onto us. Don't do that. Don't be silly, because I broke your lock and then we killed you. So just don't be dumb and don't do stuff like that, because it's not going to help you. And here I just went back because I saw his body go flying, and I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, so always try and break enemy locks if you can, even if that means sacrificing some of your firepower, because you're not going to have any firepower if your helicopter is laying in a burning heap on the side of the map. So it's better to have to dip away for a few seconds to avoid getting locked onto than to take a rocket, potentially be killed out of the helicopter, or potentially be disabled to the point where you can't land, because people have enough problems landing and flying as it is without being lit on fire, without having enemy fire incoming. So just fly within your limits. Obviously, you don't want to be putting yourself in unnecessary risks unless you're really confident in your abilities. And you're going to see that. I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to see that multiple times in here where I fly extremely close to things so that Soap can pretty much clean house. Again, this part's sped up because I'm trying to get a lock on the plane, and it's just unnecessarily long, and you really don't care. Sorry, if you do. See, what else is there? You know, again, I've gone over so much of the basic stuff already, but you really have to, I mean, if you can talk to whoever your gunner is, that's just, that makes the helicopter easily twice as good. Because I'm going to tell you right now that there's situations later in this game where I'm calling out targets to him. I'm going to tell you that, you know, like in this situation where there's 2 objectives, you know, he might be looking near one and I might see 3 guys near another one. And, you know, he wouldn't even know. So you just got to just open your mouth, you know, if you have a mic, if you're better friends than that, if you actually talk to people on the daily basis, if you're on Skype, you know, if you're on your cell phone with your buddy from down the block or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter, just you gotta talk, you gotta tell each other what's going on. Again, you know, trying to clear the airspace, keep myself alive, keep icebergs alive in the plane. Basic strategy, you know, if you're not alive, you can't do anything, so it only makes sense. Let's see. I feel like I've gone over everything already. Man, we're only like halfway through this video. What else can I tell you? I know that the gunner unlocks the anti-tank lock-on rocket at some point. So I would recommend that if you're planning on being a gunner and you have that unlocked and you know who your pilot is going to be, that you use that, because that definitely means that destroying tanks will be so much easier. I can't even tell you how much easier, because that rocket does so much damage to tanks, because I have it for the scout helicopters. And that thing just, I mean, it's either going to disable, it does like 30 damage, I want to say. Either 30, you know, depending on where it impacts, but it does like 30 damage to a tank. So you couple that with the gunner locks on with the rocket, that impacts. Then he switches to the 30 mil cannon, while the pilot starts engaging with the FFARs, which are the, you know, rocket pods. I mean, there's pretty much no chance of a tank surviving that. Forget a Jeep or a, you know, whatever. You know, there's really not much that can survive that kind of firepower. And Johnny wants to play Modern Warfare 3. That guy got tossed. He was above the helicopter there. Hopefully you got to see that and enjoy it. Now see, like, in this situation here, where the objectives are both inside, which is this B, is pretty easy to hit, you know, because there's no obstructions on this side. So you're gonna see I'm just gonna kind of like hover out by the water, and I told Soap, I was like, just pop a few shells in there, and you know, if there's anyone in there, just lay down on the trigger, don't even worry, because once we get the objective planted, I mean, it's like free kills, you know, because they can't really do anything from inside that building. But you know, we just laid into the side of this thing and almost got killed by the plane. But you know, it's stuff like this that you need to keep in mind when you're playing, you know. Like, be aware of where you have angles. Be aware of where your gunner might have an angle. And be aware of enemy aircraft, because those little fuckers are vengeful, and they're gonna come after you all the time. The same thing goes for the kid with the Igla or with the Stinger missile that can't kill you. He might not be able to kill you, but you can be damn sure that he will die trying or leave. instead of just stopping and changing his strategy. You know that that's you should know. I know that that's going to happen. You should know. If you plan on being a pilot, that's something that you need to know. No matter, God forbid any of you play with me and you hear me bitching about how many times I'm getting locked on, but that means I'm doing my job. If I'm getting 14 missile locks every minute, that means that's 14 times that people could have been killing my teammates that they spent trying to kill me, and they're not going to be successful. If I have anything to say about it, they are never going to kill me with a lock-on missile. It doesn't happen unless I get killed out of the helicopter. And that's a whole nother rant that you probably don't even want to hear. I'm telling you right now that I tried locking this plane and shooting this mother down for going on 5 minutes. He strafed us. We got almost killed. I repaired our helicopter, so I cut this like whole section out coming up pretty soon. We've got like another 35 seconds before that happened. Soap goes bonkers. If you're in this far into the video and you don't, and you're kind of like, wow, Big Wolf, just stop talking, like, you know, chop your tongue off or something, you're so fucking annoying, just put it on mute, but keep watching the video, because you're gonna see the true power of this helicopter coming up here really soon. And this is pretty much, I don't know what else anyone running around on the ground could want out of this situation coming up right here. I mean, I don't know how this guy even disarms right here. But pretty much, watch the kill feed and assist after assist after assist. Actually, one of those wasn't even him. And there's the rest of them. There you go. And so, pretty much all I'm saying is that's what you want to do. Fly near the objective, let your gunner do most of the work, fire at people if you're confident, but don't risk yourself to do it, because you're gonna crash. And so this is gonna get cut because this was just a waste of time. There's your final scoreboard. Soap, my gunner, 24-0. Me as a pilot, 7-0. That's what you strive for. That's what you want to do every time you get in a helicopter. That's what I want to do every time I get in a helicopter. So just try and remember this video next time you get in a helicopter. I will see you guys next time. Peace.